In the news right now, we're seeing lots of talk about housing crisis. But what we know from activists, from scholars, from advocates, is that the crisis is not new. The housing system itself is built to produce crisis for some people. My name's MacDonald, and I'm an associate professor at Athabasca University. My background's really important to thinking about my research. I'm a white woman who's a settler on these lands in Amiskuchi, Waskaganigan. I'm also from Mi'kma'ki, which is the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Both of those lands have shaped me. I have responsibilities and obligations as a treaty person. And throughout my life, I've had a lot of experiences of housing wealth. So I grew up in a home that my parents owned. I own a home now here in what is currently known as Edmonton. And so as I do my work in housing, I really want to consider how those experiences influence my understanding of housing inequity, and housing justice. My work begins at an understanding that affordable housing is not just a place where people are seeking secure, stable, adequate, affordable housing, but it's also a site of labor. And so my work questions what it means to work in affordable housing, what workers' experiences are like, and how we can support workers to have better work experiences and to also then support a stronger affordable housing sector. And I'm particularly interested in the experience of workers because I think there's a unique perspective that they bring to housing because they're implementing the policies that we have, whether it's municipal, provincial, or federal. And so they know the everyday implementation of it. But also we don't really know how they know about housing because there's no housing studies field. So there's no coherent education for housing workers. For them, it's really stressful because so much of their work is saying no to people because there's so little housing and there's so little access. And so while it might be that their work looks like it's in housing and it's sort of like feel-good work, often they end the day feeling like they didn't accomplish anything. So one person I talked to said, I don't think I've ever had a good day at work. And so in my work with my research assistant, Erin Lee, who's fabulous, we're advancing this concept of moral suffering. So we're arguing that workers in housing are experiencing moral suffering because they're interested in housing people. They want people to be housed. They want them to have housing security. But most of their job is actually saying no to people or putting them on long wait lists or saying that they don't fit into the regulatory requirements for different housing providers. So we suggest that this is a kind of moral suffering because it goes against their morals, that they can't house people. I'm interested in what are some interventions that we can make in the system right now that can create housing security and housing stability for folks. Such a small portion of our housing market in Canada is actually of public housing. So it's about 5%, depending on how you count it. And that is a very small percentage compared to other like OECD or developed countries. Some countries have like 60% public housing. I really advocate for the fact that we need public infrastructure. We need housing to not be a commodity. We need it to be something that people get because they're a person who deserves housing.